last night or night before about the new metal detector that I managed to come across. It is an old Heathkit, GD1190. It's an old timer from 1978. When this unit is turned on at the moment, all I get is the buzzing from the speaker, and the needle goes all the way over. Put her on battery, so the meter doesn't appear to be working correctly, nor does the unit itself. So I'm desperately looking for a manual, an assembly manual for this metal detector. So far there's nothing on the internet at all about this metal detector. Not a bloomin' thing to be found. And this is a unit that I really want to get working. So the serial number of the metal detector is 1834. It also had an iCAD battery pack in this unit as well, which I found online, which was a GD1190-1. So at the time this metal detector was made, it was fitted with an iCAD battery pack. So now I'm just trying to see if there's any problems as such that I can physically see with this with the circuit board and stuff. So one thing I have noticed with this handle, it is loose. So as you can see, I don't know if this is normal or not. I can't see. I don't know why it would be, but it's loose. The whole thing is loose and moving about, and the circuit board appears to move with it. So I had to come up with some way to tighten this down. Another thing, I did find it looks like water damage. Can't say for sure, but it looks like it. Looks like there's a bit of rust there around the meter calibrate. So I'm probably end up having to remove this circuit board and see if there's any damage underneath it. Maybe there's something going on the solder side of the board. But anyways, if you're into electronics and you're interested in seeing a old metal detector, apparently it's based on induction, and it's an interesting concept for a metal detector for sure. I've never had one of this old before, but we're going to see if we can resurrect this beast from the depths of despair. So all I can say, if you're interested in electronics, you're interested in seeing a Heathkit GD1190 working again, brought back from its death, then stay tuned, and we'll see what we can do with this beast. Again, I'd like to thank Charlie, my good buddy Charlie, for donating this awesome metal detector. It's one you've had a long time. He said at one point the metal detector did work, and then for whatever reason it just gave out. Apparently at the time this metal detector was Heathkit's most elaborate and most expensive metal detector at the time. So in saying that, this metal detector probably is a collector's item at the moment. And it would be very cool to see this up and running. So what I'll do, I'll just turn it on so you can actually hear the buzzing. As you can hear, flight control brings it up, and no matter what position I put the control on, discriminate, normal, total, it makes no difference. So as far as I can tell, the buzzing definitely ain't normal. But Well, we'll see what we can do with this beast and whatnot. And look, buddy, here, hide behind the corner. There we go. So this is the circuit board, or I should say the solder side of the circuit board for the Heathkit GD1900. As you can see, the copyright right there. Copyright 1977 by Heath Company. So she's been around a while. I was 2 years old when this thing was made. I don't believe that or not. So just looking at the board, just looking for some, problems that could be here. I'm not saying these are problems, but they may be problems. But one, we have an IC chip right here, and you can see the solder going on here. Looks like some kind of an issue going on that second pin. Not quite sure what's going on there. I'll have to clean that up and see what's going on there. But that's really the only spot on the board that's got any issue that I can see. Another problem with a lot of the circuit boards back then was cold solder joints. These look okay, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the component that is attached to them is still attached to them, if that makes any sense. So each one of these solder joints I'm going to reflow with new solder. Another issue that can happen or do happen with the older equipment, because I am a bit of a an amateur radio dude, so I do play around with electronics a bit, and I do have have played around with some old Heathkit equipment before, and a lot of the time with a lot of these wires, they're only single strand. They're not multi-strand conductor wire. It's actually one strand of wire in these wires. So if one of these wires is actually broken, then that circuit no longer functions. And there's quite a lot of connections here with wiring, as you can see. And if any one of these are damaged or broken, then it keeps the circuit board or that particular circuit from functioning properly. And another issue with older circuit boards is these fellers here, the electrolytic capacitor. These guys like to give out after a while. Fortunately for me, there seems to be only one of these electrolytics installed in this circuit board. So that is a good thing. I'll end up changing out that cap to a new one. That's my first step. And then figuring out what's going on with check each individual wire going throughout each circuit. Follow them all the way through. See if there's any broken wire here with continuity. And if the wiring tests out, then I'll decide if I want to go ahead and just replace the wire or not. But anyways, into the nitty gritty of a Heathkit GD1900 metal detector. And as I said earlier, this is or was Heathkit's top of the line metal detector back in 1977, I'll say, because there it is right on the circuit board. Copyright 1977. Anyways, I'll let the video rest for now. I'll put up a part B shortly, or part 2 I guess, whatever you want to call it. Tighten up this here, there's a nut on this part and this power jack and headphone jack. I tightened the nuts up on that, and that tightened this plate up that the handle's on. And I noticed that the nuts was all loose on these guys too. And as you can tell, a lot of these controls are actually grounded on the circuit board. So a lot of the grounding that's going on this circuit board, the ground is part of the chassis. And if there's grounds here not making connection, well, obviously that can mess up the circuits as well. So there's a lot of things going on here, but in any event, stay tuned, because over this weekend I'm going to spend a bit of time working on this GD1190 metal detector by Heathkit, serial number 01831.